Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. So today's webinar is on Mediahawk's call to action tracking. This has been launched recently on the 12th of November. I will try and keep this as brief as I can because I know this is a busy period for all of you. So call to action tracking launched on the 12th of November, and this works alongside the Mediahawk dynamic product. This new innovative product was created by our in-house development team as part of our ongoing commitment to give our customers a 360-degree view of your conversions from the very first contact. You can now literally track anything from your website into Mediahawk, depending on your own development teams. There is development documentation, which will allow you to do this on our support portal. The coding part of this feature is outside of the Mediahawk platform, so we have written development documentation to support you, but it will be down to your own in-house teams or external agencies to get this up and running for you on the site. This morning, I'll be showing you how to set up simple form fill tracking in both Mediahawk and Google Tag Manager, and then where you can view the data against your dynamic product. Call to action tracking uses a snippet of code to send data from your websites straight into the Mediahawk platform, which are linked to the call to action setup in Mediahawk. Each call to action is then assigned a unique index, and this allows us to track each interaction separately and assigns it automatically to the customer's journey. I'm now logged into our demo account, and to set up our first call to action tracking, I'm first going to click on admin and then into manage dynamic and then manage call to action tracking. We're going to click on create new call to action. We can give this any one. I'm going to call this form fill webinar demo. We now need to decide if we would like to track our interaction as a count or a sum. So what a count does is it tracks the number of times something was triggered. So if, for example, you had 10 form fills, Mediahawk would total that number of clicks on the form fill for the date selected. Alternatively, you can go for a sum, and that will be the sum of a value. So for example, if you had a checkout feature on your website and somebody checked out for £200, Mediahawk would total the sum for the date period selected. And to use sum, your developer would need to write the ability for us to pick up the value, send it into Mediahawk, and in our example later on, you will see how you can capture additional data into the system. You just need to then tick to enable the trigger and then save. So we've now got that call to action created within Mediahawk. And we now need to copy the code that we're going to put into Google Tag Manager. And to do that, you just need to click this button here and it will tell you that the code has been copied. I'm now going to show you where to create the corresponding trigger within Google Tag Manager and then how to pair these together. So in Google Tag Manager then, you're first going to click on triggers, and then we're going to click on new. If you then hover over the box, you'll see the edit pencil symbol, and if we click on here, we can scroll down in the list and select form submission, which is under user engagement. Our trigger type should then be form submission, which is what it says in here. And using the radio button, we're then going to select all forms. Okay, we can now save, and Tag Manager will ask you to rename this as whatever you'd like to. You can call it whatever you'd like to, but I'm going to call this Form Fill Webinar Demo so we know which one it is. Okay, and then if we click save, as you can see, this trigger has now been created within the platform. And we're now going to go ahead and pair this with a tag. So if we click on tags in the left-hand menu, and then if we click on new, again, if we hover over the edit pencil, we're then going to select custom HTML. And now we need to enter a script tag. So a script tag would be as shown here. And then if we go down onto line 2, we can paste the code. This is what's been copied from Mediahawk. And then on line 3, we just need to close the tag. Okay, it is as simple as that. So what I'm now going to do is save that. Okay, and we're going to add a trigger. So to add the trigger, we're going to select Form Fill Webinar Demo. We can see that's now come in here. If we now save, again, it's going to ask us to rename this. You can call this whatever you'd like to, but again, I'm going to call this Form Fill Webinar Demo and save. So our setup in Google Tag Manager is now complete. And now what I'm going to do is actually show you where you would fill a form in on the Mediahawk demonstration website, and then show you where I can find that in our system. So this is the Mediahawk online demo site. I'm going to click to the website. I'm going to click on About Mediahawk. And I'm going to fill in this quick contact form here. Okay, I'm now going to click Submit. And this website's going to tell me that I've sent that contact form. And I'm now going to show you where you would see this in Mediahawk. And currently there are 2 places you can see the data within Mediahawk for this. Again, we are logged into the demo account. I'm going to come out of the admin area and we're going to go into reports. Okay, so from the drop down, I'm going to select the sources report. I'm only looking at today's date because I want to make it easy to find the form that I've filled in. And as we scroll down, we've got all the sources that you're used to seeing in your own reports. And I'm now going to click on secondary dimension. And we've now got a new option of call to action. And I'm going to choose form fill. This is one that we set up earlier. So for demo purposes, I'm going to be using this one. And we can see that there's been 2 form fills. So already we can see against the sources how many form fills we've had compared to the total amount of calls. And this report will show you in really simple detail how many conversions you get from a specific source. Okay, if we then want to have a look and see this in more detail, the second place we can see this data is under the visitors report. And again, that secondary dimension has stayed with the report as we've moved across, and we can see 2 form fills against this visit. If we click into the visitor journey now, what we can see is my visit to the site. So we can see I came in direct. As we scroll down, we can see I've looked at About Mediahawk, and there we can see that form has been filled in, and we've used that to capture the email address that I entered against the visit. And now as I continue in my journey on the website, if I go on to make phone calls, or maybe if you want to set up a trigger for live chat or click to email, you'll be able to see all of that information within the visitor journey. So as I mentioned earlier, you can go to the support site to find out more about this. It's support.mediahawk.co.uk, and you'll find all the call to action information under advanced setup. And if we click in, you can see we've got simple ways how to do email link clicks, live chat, form fills, how to view the data, and some developer documentation in there to help you as well. And you'll find some videos on there, and the webinar will appear under this section as well. Okay. Just to let you know as well, you can create up to 10 of these triggers within the Mediahawk platform, and you can have use those as much as you want to. And when you're using the Mediahawk reporting, you can view up to 3 of these within the report at any one time. And coming soon, there will be a download option, so you can download all 10 against the sources and the visitor report if need be. that concludes what I had to show you today. If anybody would like to ask any questions, please let me know. I've got the question portal open. Okay, yeah, I can see your questions come in now about the support on that. So the developer documentation is what you will get with this, and we will happy to support you through the setup, but it isn't something that Mediahawk can do for you because it is obviously having access to your own website. Okay. Has anybody else got any questions at all at this stage? Okay, I can see we've had a question come in regarding GDPR. So on our support site, which I just showed you, we've got an updated support statement. But all I would say is I would recommend, like anything, if you're capturing a customer's data, make sure you gain consent for that on the website. Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions come in. So thank you very much, all of you, for your time. I hope the session's been useful for you. If there's anything at all you would like to discuss, I will make sure the team are ready for you at clientservices@mediahawk.co.uk. And as mentioned, the webinar will be available on our support site in the next couple of days for you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.